Hi, thank you so much for tuning back in. This is part D. So if you're just tuning in, please go back to the YouTube channel ITR Polygraph. Please go to playlists. Look this up today. We are on chapter 13, the King Who Had It All. And we have completed part A, B, and C. Now we are going to, this is the conclusion of this chapter. And really what we have been reading, just what we just read here, once every 3 years it returned, carrying gold, silver, ivory, and apes and baboons. What that said to me regarding our world today is that kind of trading and that kind of food trading, animal trading, and treasures of the ivory and the apes and the baboons, they were being traded way back then in the days of King Solomon. And that is what was going on. So we also see that going on today. And then we have a lot of different groups that talk about those things and what's going on with our world and our animals today. Very different, very different. So it makes our minds think about a lot of things about what was going on then and what is going on now, right? And also the sin of the world. Many times those sacrifices were for a reason. God had asked for those sacrifices, but now how has that gotten away from the actual intent and what was it actually for and what was going on? So there's a lot to think about. A lot of things were going on back then that are still on a scale like that, maybe on a grander scale. Okay, so it's different. And in the beginning of this book, it did say that God gave man dominion over the animals, gave man dominion, not the other way around. And so there was a lot of this going on. So it makes us think about a lot of stuff. So thank you for tuning back in. My name is Lesley Donaldson. This is the story. We are on page 191, and we are almost finished this chapter. And then we are also going to read the questions and so forth. So let's pick right back up where we left off. King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth. The whole world sought audience with Solomon to hear the wisdom God had put in his heart. Year after year, everyone who came brought a gift, articles of silver and gold, robes, weapons, and spices, and horses and mules. Solomon accumulated chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses, which he kept in the chariot cities, and also with him in Jerusalem. The king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar as plentiful as sycamore fig trees in the foothills. Solomon's horses were imported from Egypt and from Kew. The royal merchants purchased them from Kew at the current price. They imported a chariot from Egypt for 600 shekels of silver and a horse for 150. They also exported them all to the king of the Hittites and the Arameans. During Solomon's time, polygamy was considered normal, but was not sanctioned by God. Let's just read that again, because that says that here, and that is a hot topic here. And actually, I did not know that it's said that specifically in the scriptures. So we'll read it again. During Solomon's time, polygamy was considered normal, but was not sanctioned by God. Like other kings, Solomon had a large harem of wives, some of whom were from other nations. For Solomon, unfortunately, the irresistible draw of sweet perfume led to relaxing his guard against pagan worship as well. A bad decision from a fellow renowned for wisdom. It was the beginning of the end. King Solomon, however, loved many foreign women besides Pharaoh's daughter: Moabites, Amorites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. They were from nations about which the Lord had told the Israelites, "You must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts after God." Nevertheless, Solomon held fast to them in love. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines, and his wives led him astray. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. He followed Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the detestable god of the Ammonites. So Solomon did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not follow the Lord completely, as David his father had done. The Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord. Oh no! Oh no! Let's just read that again, because isn't that just so sad? Isn't that just so sad? But that's what we were talking about. This is living under the laws of Moses. It was so hard because why? Because there's sin in the world. Because there's sin. And he eventually succumbed to that sin. And it says here, the Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. Although he had forbidden Solomon to follow other gods, Solomon did not keep the Lord's command. So the Lord said to Solomon, "Since this is your attitude, and you have not kept my covenant and my decrees, which I have commanded you, I will most certainly tear the kingdom away from you and give it to one of your subordinates. Nevertheless, for the sake of David your father, I will not do it during your lifetime. I will tear it out of the hand of your son. Yet I will not tear the whole kingdom from him, but will give him one tribe for the sake of David my servant, and for the sake of Jerusalem, which I have chosen." Wow. There was so much going on in that chapter. And again, the sin of Solomon is now going to affect his son. "I'll tear it out of the hand now of your son." Right? So there's just so much to think about and study. And that's why it's called a Bible study. We'll think about it all week. I know I do. So let's read what the questions are for this chapter. Chapter 13, The King Who Had It All. The discussion questions, if you have your book, is on page 479. And the first question says this: why was Solomon's request for wisdom and discernment so pleasing to the Lord? Well, okay, nope, sorry, I was going to answer them. Nope, we're just going to read them. I just want to jump right in. Question number 2, how is wisdom different from mere knowledge and intellect? Great question. How is wisdom different from mere knowledge and intellect? Number 3, why is it vital to become wise? Number 4, what can you do to gain more wisdom? Number 5, how did pride and lust contribute to Solomon's fall? Number 6, what can you do to guard yourself against these sins? This is so great because, take a look at the world that we live in right now and the whole social media and the memes we send out and this and this and this. We think that that's maybe wisdom and we're learning. But is it the wisdom that we need to be learning? Is it? Where does that come from? Where did some of those memes probably generate from? That we need to really see what the root is of that and think about that. What is wisdom? What does that mean to you? Because now we've read what this means, or what it means, and so forth. And so these are great questions to ponder, 6 of them. So I thank you so much for tuning in this week. I really look forward to your messages, your comments, anything like that. Please do like, please do comment, and please do subscribe. I'd appreciate that so much. And next time I'm going to share the different places of around the world of the people that are watching, because I would like to give a shout out to so many different countries that are wanting to learn and understand about the scriptures. And can I just say one thing too? This is when we talk about, and this is just my own thought, because we have done a company called ITR Polygraph for 18 years. And what the polygraph is, it's a tool used to either detect deception or not. I want you to understand that one of the reasons why I have loved doing or providing this service for people is because I believe to what it says in the scripture, that we were all born knowing right from wrong. We know that deep down. There's something in our physiology that changes when we are telling the truth and when we are lying. And so though this is a Bible study and it is not about polygraph, it is about truth and deception. And where does that come from? How were we built? What is our DNA like? And that's where I kind of tie the two together. So I'm thankful that Ken lets me put these different videos on the YouTube channel of ITR Polygraph, because that is the way that I tie that in, that we were all created knowing right from wrong. So I thank you very much for tuning in, and you have a great week. I'm sorry about a little bit of the AC in here and the street noise, but I don't edit anything. I just do it live to tape. So I thank you for your time today. Have a great day. See you next week. Bye now.